Hi, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me again today. So I'm popping back on to put us a midweek message from the Sacred Rebels. It's time to get us a midweek guidance message for the collective. So it's actually been a few weeks since I've pulled from this deck. It's far too long. Let's get a check in. Sacred Rebels, what message do you have, please, for the collective at this time? What do we need to know? Okay, final shuffle. Let's jingle some bells. Let's get us a message. Okay. Wow, there we go. Got two cards turned over at the same time. We have card 14 and card 1. Okay, going beyond normal after the storm. All right. All right. Wow. Okay, it seems like, yeah, someone's kind of losing their mind at this time. But you will see the light. You will make it through this time. You will get to the other side. You are being guided. You're being guided to go within, to start looking at things differently, to understand things differently, and to search for that inner light. Perhaps you doing so is what causes quite a stir. Perhaps it triggers a lot of people. You know, people are triggered by this new you, this way that you now appear to be, the way that you look at things seems to stir things up for people. Okay, I see this as a good thing. You're shaking the ground. Okay. Not to cause fear, to help others break their boundaries, break their own limitations to reach that inner light. Softly, softly, the tender touch. You have a very caring approach. That your mindset is focused on that light, on finding inspiration around you. Do indeed connect to the collective consciousness. You do indeed have a conscious connection with another. Feel that within you. Always felt that within you. And that is indeed your gift. Top of the deck, follow your own rhythm. You are having to go your own way. You are indeed gifted with visions of life before death. You are gifted with visions of inspiration. It may shake things up a little. It is a journey that is yours to take. Every journey starts with a single step. So let's split the deck. This is indeed you. You are in the world, not of the world. This is you and your heart. You fully immersing yourself, your heart and your emotions, and allowing yourself to go with the flow, to go where you are being inspired to go. And this is your journey. This is your midweek message. Softly, softly, tender touch. Excuse me. The feminine wisdom of gentleness can assist you now. When we are at a point in life where we want to attain greater things, but don't necessarily have a proportionally greater supply of energy at our disposal, it is time to work smarter rather than harder. This is the way of feminine wisdom. However, a cultural ignorance of the feminine way currently prevails. We are generally taught that the more force we use, the more we try to make things happen, the more we will achieve. The feminine way is not about force, nor is it about driving, striving, pushing, or grabbing at what we can in order to create. It is about inviting what we wish for to come into the space we have provided for it, internally and in our lives. This method cultivates more energy, causes less stress, and attracts what is desired. It is manifestation by invitation rather than by will or force. There is a story that the sun and the wind were debating about who was more powerful. After boasting about their prowess, they made a wager. A man walked down the street with a coat on. The wind and the sun decided that whomever could force the coat off the man was the most powerful. The wind began demonstrating its impressive power. It blew and caught underneath the coat, pulling it and nearly ripping it right off the man. But the man wrapped his coat around himself more tightly to protect himself against the force of the wind. Eventually, perhaps temporarily out of puff, the wind gave up. The sun took over. He shone down, becoming brighter and brighter, until the man slipped off his coat, slung it over his shoulder, and walked down the street, quite possibly wondering what was happening with the weather that day. The wind attempted to do by force what the sun was able to do by being. You are being asked to surrender your forcefulness, your determination, and your intense activity, even if it is just for this moment. Does this mean that you have to surrender the goals you were chasing through those endeavours? Certainly not. This is not about letting go of achievement. It is about it is about this. It is about understanding the process of manifestation in a more intelligent way. There is a way of creating that gives you energy and doesn't leave you utterly worn out. It is about allowing what you want to come to you. Be yourself, absolutely, naturally and with ease. Shine your light and allow your presence to invite that which you wish to receive. It is about cultivating an energetic affinity with what you seek, rather than feelings of lack and need. Do you see the subtle but important difference? To feel that you are already a naturally abundant being who gratefully invites more of what you want into your life is rather different to feeling lack, fear, and wishing your world would change. It is a bit like dressing for the job you want, even if it is not yet the job you have. You energetically embody what you wish to attract more of into your life. Like attracts like. This oracle brings you a message. You don't need to push quite so hard to receive what is naturally coming to you. Your push comes from a place of uncertainty over whether or not you will succeed. You need to relax and have more faith in yourself. All things come in time, rightfully and according to a great loving wisdom. You are not immune to this. You shall have your time and shine too. Rebel against any voice of fear within you or around you that tells you otherwise. It is okay to become softer, to feel the energy of what you wish to attract into your life, and to act as much as you can as though it is already that way. You are not fantasizing or daydreaming or failing to live in the real world if you do this. You are actually working with the feminine art of manifestation through gentle beingness and attraction. As you soften into becoming what you are seeking, what you wish for will not be able to resist your shining, inviting presence. This oracle also comes with the special message that you have been working very, very hard. You have learned much and accomplished much, but it is now time to change your approach. Let go of any force in your approach to creation now. Everything serves a purpose, and learning the benefits and limitations of the more forceful way of manifestation through effort and willpower was a useful lesson. However, if you were to continue with that approach, it would stop working for you, because you are now beginning to create on a far grander scale that is beyond what an individual can manifest through willpower alone. You are individually creating through your healing and art, but also contributing globally to new consciousness through your own spiritual growth. You are part of a global healing manifestation process. You are, through your way of being in the world, helping to birth a new awareness. This new way will heal the human heart and bring it back into balance with nature. This is essential for the human soul to survive, flourish, and to cooperatively nurture the earth rather than destroy her natural resources. You may or may not be consciously aware of the extent to which this new way of manifesting through receiving rather than taking can actually help all of humanity. But nonetheless, it is playing an important role in greater human evolution. It is the power of attraction, of magnetism, rather than of striving and force that will replenish your energy and restore your body, mind, and heart after your struggle. This change in approach will encourage the shift from head to heart that is essential for your individual well-being and for the greater human evolution. You need to heal so that you can help the world to heal. Does this give you absolute permission now, in your own mind, to take an easier approach to your sacred, rebellious, creative manifestation? going beyond normal. On the path of life, there are deciding moments where we can choose to go with the mainstream, or we can dare to take a bolder, more authentic and trusting way, even if it seems riskier or less safe. To rely solely on logic and science without incorporating the mysterious and magical is a recipe for an existence that is far too dry. The sacred rebel within our hearts will always choose a juicier approach to life. You are currently approaching such a choice point. You could say that the choice is about balance. It is less about choosing to honour either art or science, gardening or architecture, and more about integrating all approaches so that you enhance rather than hinder your life journey. There is a time and a place for logic, strategy, planning, and measurable outcomes. These are not bad tools to have, but we must be vigilant not to worship them or allow them to quash our less rational but equally valuable decision making tools, like our intuition, our feelings, and those things you know without knowing how you know them. The flowing, inspirational energy of the heart may have no conceivable basis in logic or reason, and still be uncannily accurate. To remain rebellious, we must not sacrifice the art of emotion, instinct, passion, and intuition for the science of logic and strict planning. On the other hand, gardening and art do provide us with a plan, albeit more loosely held. This plan still requires us to set aside time, to draw upon reliable methods, and to prepare with certain tools. However, there is also a healthy dose of organic flow, responsiveness, and trust in the creative process of bringing something to life. This leads to the cultivation of the most beautiful, abundant, and successful garden, and the most vivid healing art. You are being asked to stay open to the intuitive approach in your life, your work, your creativity, as well as in your spiritual journey. The intuitive approach can be likened to the method of a gardener or an artist. There is a sense of what might work where, and a loose or even a detailed plan, but how the plan is carried out will depend on and respond to the flow of its surroundings. There is no need to control the situation, but rather a desire to nurture an idea to fruition. You may have pressures around you from the world or from your own conditioned nature to do things according to the rules, to a deadline, or to the accepted mainstream view that you need a well thought out plan for success in a commercial venture. However, sometimes the best plan is to do what feels intuitively truthful in the moment and to trust that you are being led towards your own spiritual growth. Adopting this approach means you have to do far less planning and far more living. It is a pure and heart centered way to manifest your art, your life path, and your essence into practical expression in the world. It involves a willingness to be led by nature instead of trying to control the powerful force of life, which is a bit like trying to fit a proverbial ocean into a teacup. It is far more intelligent to allow the ocean to be the ocean and to learn to swim in it rather than trying to cram it into a vessel that is much too small. Well, this oracle brings you a special piece of guidance. You are moving outside of the plan. You are living on the border of what is socially accepted. This is good. This is fringe dwelling freedom. Others might not see this about you straight away, as you seem pretty normal, but that secret eccentric streak is just waiting to show itself. And maybe you are an out and proud fringe dweller, completely comfortable with this way of being. Either way, this oracle brings you the message that you now have a chance to live from the heart more deeply and expressively than ever before. It wants you to realize that this is a legitimate, empowered, and creative way to live that honors all of who you are. You can give up forcing or squashing yourself down into a very limited set of so-called desirable qualities like intellect and control. If you are yet to relate to this consciously, this oracle brings you the further message that you are going to be breaking with tradition. Perhaps not entirely, but at least in a way that is meaningful to you. This will require you to have courage in your convictions and faith in your heart truths. This will help you and inspire others around you to step out of fear and live more freely and lovingly. You are not necessarily meant to abandon logic and intellect altogether. You are to use them to serve the desires of the heart, rather than to replace its naturally spontaneous and truthful nature with controlled planning and narrow strategy. It's time to get a bit wild and let nature take its course. Okay, so get a bit wild after the storm. So nature may be about to get a bit wild. There's a thunderstorm about. It is either headed your way or just passing through now. Don't make a thunderstorm mean more than what it is, though. You don't have to fear it. You might even feel excitement about it. After all, a thunderstorm is just nature's way of gathering energy together that needs to be released. With a release of tension, relief and freedom soon follow, often with a fresh perspective and perhaps the gift of a promising, hopeful vision for your future. Perhaps the powerful, particular storm building within you or around you is causing you to quake in your boots. It might be a storm of building emotions threatening to erupt or already exploding, seemingly beyond your conscious control. You might feel an uncomfortable sense of emotional or psychological pressure within, and if something doesn't happen soon, you feel you might just burst. You may also sense that these are forces operating beyond your control. And you would be right. There is in life and in the creative process a need to allow for wild storms. There will be those precious moments of peace beforehand, and the release and revitalization that follows. Yet the storm in the middle is essential. It is a part. It is, in fact, a natural part of the creative process. Without this building and releasing of energy, we would suffer from boredom and stagnancy. You may prefer the excitement of the storm or the fresh, open feeling that accompanies its clearing. You may find it comforting to be faced with the power of something in which you can only participate, rather than control. Either way, the storm wisdom offers you the gift of bringing things to a head and clearing them away, so that the energy can be freed from a pattern that has had its day and is ready to become something new. Sometimes the pressures that fuel the storms of our lives have been building up for quite a long time without us being fully aware of it. It might be pressure from our own minds, creating unnecessary burdens upon us, such as burdens of fear or self-doubt. It could be pressure to appear to be a certain way, or to fight against life out of a mistaken belief that this is necessary for survival. Sometimes the pressure is little more than the impossible dream of perfection and a need to gently, or even with great dramatic flourish, cast that aside so that you can dare to be what you are and create from the heart, from your heart. Even if you are not sure what the storm is about, don't lose confidence in your ability to successfully bear its progression until you are safely at the other side of the experience. Even amongst the chaos of change and in moments of anxiety, know that you have so much light and trust in your heart that you can see the storm is but a passing process and nothing that need worry you. If you can't sense the storm yet, this oracle is a portent for you. The storm is coming, and you can, if you wish, feel the beautiful, exhilarating gift of it as you are empowered to cast aside what has been and receive the gift of a fresh, new take on things. Your confidence is to remain intact. Whatever is happening or soon will happen in your life, this storm of sorts is transformational and supportive of your growth. It is going to clear away cobwebs and free you, open you to new creative energy and life. Remember, there can be no rainbows without a little rain. This oracle is also confirmation that if you have been praying for help, your prayers have been heard, and the great creative intelligence of our universe is responding to you, stepping in and shaking things up so that situations can be sorted out according to a greater wisdom. So let go. Hold only to your inner self and allow everything to be cleansed in the sacred storm. Let's close tonight's reading out with this healing process. So if you would like to take part, then please find a place where you can be alone and have some privacy, either inside or perhaps out in nature. When you are ready, repeat the following where possible with your arms up and open to the sky. Storms so wild, storms of grace, I call your blessing into my heart now. May I release and let go. May I be revitalized and grow. I open up my heart to you now. Storms of grace, I stand my ground, and I allow your magic to cleanse and surround any outgrown energy which I no longer need, anything which will sap or deplete rather than feed. Storms of grace, merciful earth, with your help I experience rebirth. Now, when you have finished your declaration, simply place your hands in prayer position at your heart and close your eyes for a moment. Breathe in and out and be aware of yourself, what you feel, and what is happening in your body from the top of your head right to the soles of your feet. And now say, through divine creative genius, this is now so. You have now completed your healing process, and that has indeed been our midweek guidance message with the Sacred Rebels Oracle. Thank you, everybody. I really hope that you have enjoyed your messages today, and I hope you found this reading helpful at this time. So, much love to you all. I will see you again real soon. Take care.